Good afternoon. Once again, I'm back to in front of you, and this time we are talking about the ongoing tea crisis. What is this tea crisis? The government authorities want the Assam cup of tea with the best again, so they want the pesticide residual should be removed from the tea, and the Assam cup of tea should be great again. And there is no doubt, no one is complaining, and there's no confusion in this regard. But in the process, government had given some rules. Government had shown three different pesticides should not be used. One is definitely not used, but two others are still being used in a lot of activities. And this is where the whole crisis is. Now the government says that, especially the food security office says that if you have to sell the teas in the auction, it has to come with a laboratory report saying that it complies all the rules and regulation under the Food Security Act. Now that testing is not possible in very mass space. In Assam, there is only one such laboratory available in Jorahat under the TRA, Tokyo Research Association, and rest has to be sent to Kolkata. Now, one laboratory of Assam can handle 100 samples a day, and we are talking about 335 bottling factories and about a lakh STGs, and that too weekly. So this calculation is not matching. The bottling factories are completely at confusion how to handle it. Government wants that any auction has to come with certificates, and for certification you need test lab, and there is no test lab. And then even if they send it to others outside Assam, it's not cost effective. And that's why the bottling factories have decided to procure tea leaves from any STGs of Assam since June 1. That means over about 1 lakh STGs producing about roughly at this moment with this kind of production series about 5 million green leaf and about 15 to 15 crores of green tea watt every day. And that's the whole crisis. And that's why I have a very strong panel today to discuss exactly what is happening, how this problem can be solved. Because every day, if we are losing about 15 crores of green leaf, not only the entire economy, STZ, and the whole chain is going to stop. Remember, the STZs are in Assam, 55% of the entire Assam tea production coming from the small tea garden. So this is not a small issue. Irrigation will come and go. Prime Minister 5 साल के बाद तो नए नए आएंगे, somebody will win, somebody will lose. But for Assam, this 200 years, and remember, every 10 person working in this state is somewhere linked to tea. So I'm very, very particular about it. And that's why we have a very esteemed panel. Let me introduce to all of them. We have Jyoti Fukan, Secretary TRA Tuklai from Kolkata. Now, right now he's in Guwahati. Vijananda Prakavati, thanks for joining me. Advisor, North-Eastern Tea Association, he is from Golaghat, and Secretary Tea Association of India, Deepanjal Deka. There can be no better person than all these three persons. Let's me straight away because Jyoti is mostly on the science side, and Vijananda is both as a BLF owner as well as a legacy garden, as well as he is very linked to the socially linked to the entire Golaghat Neta sector. And with Deepanjal, you are with the Tea Association of India. Let me start with Vijananda Prakavati. Make it quick, straight. What are the points? What you want to say?
Let me correct you on 2 points that you have mentioned. First of all, sure. FSSI is a central act, and yes, whether we sell it through auction or through private, so we have to adhere by the FSSI Act, and all tea has to be compliant as per FSSI. So it is not necessary that only teas which you sell through auction only has to be compliant. All teas, whether sold through private and auction, has to be FSSI compliant. It is a central act. That is number one. Number two, what you have mentioned, that all teas coming to auction has to have a certificate of testing is not required. The FSSI Act says that we have to test twice in a year. That it's a central act. So we have to test twice in a year, and we have to upload in their website. So no circular or no other notification can overrule that central act. So that is also a misconception that whatever teas that will come to auction need to be tested. It is not like that. It is only randomly some teas will be tested. That random testing is done whether you sell it through private or you sell it through auction. The random testing.
Let me come in. Very interesting point you have said. That means if I am an STG, which I am actually, so I have to test my tea twice a year randomly. Am I correct?
No, it is the met tea. It is not the green leaf.
Yes.
The mandate of FSSI is to test the met tea twice in a year, and there is no mandate for green leaf to be tested. But at the same time, since because our spectrum is different now. What it was 40 years back when the estates, the gardens, and the factory, it was one composite unit. Those days has gone now. So now we have 50% of the tea industry. The green leaf is supplied by the small tea growers who do not have their own processing units, and 50%, is by the estates. So the bottle factories, they do not have their plantation. So during manufacturing, no pesticide is added. All of us know. So pesticide only is sprayed in the gardens. So because of lack of knowledge, maybe at times they use pesticides which they should not use. So Mrinal, the why this crisis has today come, because we want to achieve the goal all of a sudden. It cannot happen instantly. We are for 100% FSSI compliance, but it can happen when we prepare a roadmap. We are telling again and again to the government, to the T board, to FSSI, please prepare a roadmap, because there are 1.5 lakh small tea growers who needs to be educated. It cannot happen overnight.
Okay. Dipanjal, you come in. Please stick to your entire initial statement about 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes, so that we can come back to again and again. Dipanjal.
Yeah, like as we all know that FSSI, we have to be compliant with it. It's a central government of it, and most importantly, this is something to do with food. So when comes down to food, basically, then it is our absolutely responsibility to give without any chemical free, without proper compliant, food, end product food to the consumers. Saying that, but that is of course a problem about regarding the testing of it, because we do not have that kind of infrastructure. Without any doubt, that is true. But even though I think one of the easiest way to do this, is to probably ban the particular chemicals which are there. Small growers, as you know, most of them, they have been saying that that we are not using this particular banned chemicals, and we are not trying to do it. I believe that they have been trying their best to do that. I understand the problems with the bottle factories also, because nobody wants to be prosecuted. Nobody wants to be caught out there for no fault of theirs, without any doubt. But saying so, ultimately, seems like I already told you, this is a food and it has to be tasted, and we have to be compliant about it, and we'll have to, go according to the land of the Lord. And I think as this thing progress, we can talk about, what can be the solution to it, basically.
Joydev, your answer.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Talukdar. First of all, thank you very much for inviting to the meeting. I would like to give you a brief background of the why the whole thing, the notification was brought in by T-Board. I think there are two main issues which are there. So T-Board T-Board has been seeing that like these prices of small tea growers have not increased over the years. What the small growers have been saying that over the last maybe 10, 12, 15 years, their prices have increased at a very slow pace. So and now as things stands, about 60% of the teas are sold privately or outside directly. People are value adding also in packets, and 40%, around 40% is the amount which is sold in the auctions. So T-Board felt that this is not giving the correct picture in terms of competition. So they wanted to try out with a smaller percentage of teas, that is dust teas, so that if those dust teas are 100% bought into the auction system, there will be more competition and prices will increase. So it was basically an experiment for 3 months. So that was the main reason. Second thing is that since FSSI has stepped up their overall checking and compliance, because when teas are exported overseas, 100% care is taken on each of the pesticides, so that these are all free of pesticides and all contaminants. So FSSI has also taken a similar kind of view for most of the products. Tea is also one of them. Last year they did a survey and they found that some concerning things. So they have given a kind of a, they called us for a meeting, and the CEO of FSSI took this meeting, and they said that we need to be more cautious on using non-approved pesticides. So basically, since 100% dust teas were coming into the auctions, so Tea Board thought that maybe randomly, not all teas, but randomly teas will be checked, and so that compliance is achieved. So these were the two main agendas for this notification. Of course, the other the requisites which are required, I think that is different. But in a nutshell, these are the two things for the
Yeah.
the notification to come in, and where we are today actually.
I have seen Mr. Bijananda Borkadewar taking a stand. I could see he's in this WhatsApp status also. You have given an entire statement where you are totally against this 100% auction of Dasti, and you do not know. You have also wrote that how it has come into this notification, we don't know. But is it not a transparent thing that where you bring in everything into the auction and fix the price by the merit? How bad or how good the whole decision was?
See, there are twin issues. One is the notification regarding from the government of India regarding routing of 100% dust grades through auction, and second is the FSSI compliance. We are against clubbing the two things. FSSI, we have to be compliant, and it has to be dealt differently. Some people, maybe they do not have the knowledge, or they're ignorant, or they may have malafide intention also, are making it as a big issue. I can debate at length with anybody. That is not at all an issue, and it can be solved very easily. Can you imagine that monocotophos, which was the major problem, 80% of the teas which we failed few months back, today that has come down to out of 100 samples, 80 failed in monocotophos few months back, and now the failure has come to even below 20. If hundreds are at only 20, Joydeep will know they are testing. How? Why? It has come down. Because government of Assam has taken a very strict step in this regard. Mrinal, do you know that there is not an issue? See, people are confused.
Just
People
also
don't
want
know.
to adding two more points. You talk about three pesticides which were banned. Monopotamus is already, you said, it lower side in 20%. Other two are actually still being used in vegetables, raw vegetables like in tomato and in capsicum, and in it is being used, and we are consuming it in raw format. Now, same thing in tea is banned. So this is a Jyoti, can you highlight on that? This is something very funny.
I can tell you, Manal,
Yeah.
tell you, I know this subject very well. Monocotophos can be even used in chili, which you have it raw. Okay. And MRL has been fixed for that. So, it is not allowed for use in tea. We are abiding by that. And it has come down drastically. Today, we have met the Agriculture Minister of Assam, and their government of Assam is going to come down heavily on this. So, we have requested, not what you have mentioned is 2 is but one is monocotophos plus 6. Total 7 pesticides. We have requested government of Assam to take similar steps for what the government of Punjab has taken for basmati rice. So tea is the pride of Assam. Tea is the lifeline industry of Assam. And so we have requested government of Assam can ban state government, because it's a central subject. State government can ban it for 60 days, and which they did for monocotophos earlier. So today we have requested the Agriculture Minister, Honorable Agriculture Minister C. Otul Bora, to ban these 6 + 1, 7 pesticides. We want it. This now you need not then worry, because if you have to nip in the bud, we'll make sure that these 7 pesticides are now available in the market. All your problem get resolved. Miral, you take it from me, within 15 days, all teas produced in Assam will be 100% FSSI compliant. We are not knowing how to resolve this issue. We in NETA, we have a clear-cut direction. Because of the paucity of time, I would have given you hundreds of other options that we have given to, not hundreds, but we have given 10 options to government of Assam and SSN, how to resolve this issue.
Now wait for me.
It's a very simple, it's a critical issue, but it's a simple issue. It is very simple to solve it.
Jodip has given a very hopeful situation that in 15 days, all the remaining six pesticides available in the market are going to be off the shelf. In that case, in next week or 10, probably things are going to be better.
No, again, like to give you a just brief perspective, FSSI after that October meeting which the CEO had in Calcutta, so they banned or they restricted or they have asked the labs to test 20 pesticides which are not approved for tea. So that notification came in to November 2023. After that, on 4th March 2024, they added 6 more pesticides. So if you see, the monocotophos was in the earlier notification, which was of November 2023. So in the 6 pesticides which were restricted, it is not banned. So in the 4th March order, it is restricted for use. So these are compounds like fipronil, dinutufuron, acephate, acetamiprid, imidacloprid, and one more pesticide. So these pesticides were restricted for use, but these pesticides are allowed for use in other crops, even vegetables also. So now the situation is that basically we have seen how the climate has been playing up. Basically, and tea is a entirely agriculture or weather dependent crop. So with high temperatures, now a lot of pesticides are not working. Even the newer molecules, the greener molecules, which has come into the market in the last 1 or 2 years, those are also not working. What we have seen from Tokla is that 2 pesticides are working fine. That is acetamiprid and imidacloprid. For these 2 pesticides, all the data was generated by Toklai way back in about 5 years back. It was given to T-Board, and T-Board has also taken up with the CIBRC, which is the approving authority, Central Insecticide Board Registration Committee under the Agriculture Ministry. Now, after, as Mr. Borkakuti has said, monocotophos detection has come down drastically, almost by 80 to 90%. Now, the main problem is these 2 pesticides are effective, acetamiprid and imidacloprid. We have generated the data. We have given it to the Agriculture Ministry. Now we have asked the government of Assam, we have asked government of West Bengal, as well as the Tea Board of India to take it up. I personally met the Secretary CIBRC on the 7th of May to fast track the approval of this thing. Because suppose if you ban it, you have to give something to the farmers to use it. Ultimately, pesticides are not going to go away. Like you don't have any other chemicals to spray in the field. So, and 1 or 2 new chemicals which are there, those also doesn't have the FSSI approval. So these 2 pesticides, if they are allowed, and out of that 1 pesticide, imidacloprid, has a Codex MRL. Codex is it's a body, international body formed under WHO and FAO, and Codex generates for certain crops MRLs. So imidacloprid has got a very high level of MRL at 50 mg per kg. So Codex MRL, FSSI can immediately take it. They have been taking earlier also, whatever the Codex has set, they have automatically taken it by default. So we will have acetamiprid. Acetamiprid, we have got the data. That also we can submit. So if these 2 chemicals are given, then we should not be having any problems for some time.
Manjal, you represent Tea Association of India, and that Tea Association of India represent a large number of agency garden. And right now, the whole crisis we are talking about BLN and the STZ, but ultimately everything is coming to auction. If it is talking about, so what is the scene in the agency garden as far as the users of the pesticides? How serious they are? How problematic they are with this all? But so far, it is always it is considered and BLF and STZ things. And
they were. You see, first thing, Minal, this entire thing is, I think, blown out of proportion, like that anti-issue. We have a problem without any doubt, but it was blown out of proportion. All these chemicals initially in some of our established gardens have also been detected. Everybody, like when they were aware of it and, they cut it down. I'm talking about, like a year back. Now, established gardens do not have it. Some garden has a problem who had bought, bot leaf particular. most of our members, I'm talking about PHN of India, what they did was that, talk to these small growers, help them financially. And ultimately what happens is that they have stopped using this pesticide. Even with this new strike, strike and everything which is going on, our gardens are still buying, bottle pop. They're because they trust that small growers out there, and we don't have a problem with it. Secondly, as far as when it comes to 100%, auction system of it, we had supported this for a very simple reason. Dust teas are hardly around 15 to 20%, all over India. I say 20% of the max. And, this, most of it was bought from South India, and the buyers who bought it, used to buy it. Most of them, they were not raised. So we, along with other sister associations at one point of time, we thought that basically, probably, like if we put it 100% in the auction listing of it, that, there will be more competition because more buyers will be forced to register and come in. And that is the basic idea about it. FSSAI complaint is, again, I agree, it's a totally, again, a different ballgame together. These two things are, being clubbed together now. Like made into an issue, but I agree that this is a two different thing, 100% dust auction is a different thing of it, trying to, get a better price, trying some new ideas to, do something about the current prices of the tea, this thing of it. And the complaint, this thing, like I told you, in most of our gardens, we don't have an issue for quite some time now. It has been random testing is going on, and you'll be surprised, Minal. Now this scare has gone out so much because, as you have known, that bigger companies like right from Everest to MDH to and so many bigger companies have been caught in the entire internet. The buyers have now started initiating testing on their own. Apart from FSI, apart from this tea board, they are scared. They have started testing on their own because they know that when they will be blending it, that if they get caught out there in the end result, FSI or the government will not understand, or it will be very difficult for them to explain that we got this tea from so and so. Finally, because the product is theirs, the brand name is theirs, so even they have started. I think from one part of a time,
this question is open to all. If you do a bigger and broader picture, is it not a blessing in kind of a disguise that we all are getting cautious? We all are talking about working on the line. The government is non-government, individual traders, buyers, retailers. In the process, maybe the production will be a little less, which is in a way bad, not bad because we have an excess production, and the price
it's a good thing. Secondly, most of this, that export thing scenario.
Do you agree to this particular picture, Joydeep?
Yeah, you see, basically, what I feel is that compliance, you can't sell teas which are not compliant with the law of the land. So you have to have compliance at any cost. Second thing is that, you see, I think what I see, there are two positives which I see. Is that one is that, of course, production coming down, prices going up, that is mostly on demand and supply. But if you see the spin-off effects, that the small growers teas, which are now mostly into the in the domestic market, if you are first FSSAI compliant, then the next step will be, if you are EU compliant, then you have the whole world to sell. Basically,
exactly.
The cost of production of small growers in Assam is quite low. I think you can say you can.
But in the has he not rightly said that the STGs must be given some more period of time to get it done instead of rushing it through?
Actually, basically, this whole thing was for 3 months. So so that was this. Okay, I think Mr. Baukagri wants.
Now it has come down to 2 months.
I'm not agreeing to clubbing it together. This FSSAI and 100% option is totally different. See, Minal, some marks or some tea gardens or some tea factories, they get very good price in auction, and some others get very good price in private. This is my produce. I will decide how to dispose it of. Government has not given any minimum benchmark price, any floor price they have not declared. And I totally disagree with Joydeep, because in the notification, there is nowhere it is written that this 100% auction has been brought to see FSSAI or to see prices. You today, please keep it on record that production is not going to come down because of FSSAI. production may come down because of the weather. The small growers have become very, very cautious. Only because I am always on the ground. I am a Golaghat now. I am going to the All Assam Small Tea Growers convention where they have called me as a guest of honor. I am going to explain to them. So only acetamiprid, we have found only acetamiprid. And acetamiprid, like Joydeep has said, TRA has already filed dossier. Today we have requested our agriculture minister to take up with their central body, central ministry, to to fasten the process. So I am sure after I will meet the Honorable Chief Minister also in this regard. He had helped us in the past in regard to quinal phos, which was now 3-4 years back, quinal phos was a problem. So our Honorable Chief Minister, Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma, helped us in this regard, and today there is no problem. This acetamiprid is the only problem at this moment, and the process for getting a label claim is already, the process is on, and anytime we will get it. After the election, it will be accelerated. Okay. Now, I laugh at people who say that this 100% auction can help growers getting better price realization. They actually are clueless. The price setting formula here, because I sell leaf, I buy leaf. I do both. Price setting formula is redundant. In Kenya, it is different, and in India, it is different. One has to understand that. In Kenya, you are a small tea grower, so you would be only allowed to supply to a particular factory in Kenya. You cannot supply wherever you want. And you will get price setting formula based on the prices realized by that particular factory. In India, it is not that. It is on the auction average of Guwahati Tea Auction Center for Assam. For Bengal, it is different. For Assam, it is the Guwahati Tea Auction Center. And what is the benchmark price, how it is calculated? I did it. I know very well, because it is on the bottle leaf average. And let me tell you, when all bottle leaf factories teas come to the auction, the average price of NBP will come down. It is not difficult to understand. It is very easy to understand. Moreover, no grower, I don't know whether you want minimum, you want price setting formula, nobody asks. Because nowadays the whole market, that was 10 years back, nobody asked for minimum price setting formula. Nowadays, how the green leaf market works, it works very differently. It is on the fine leaf percentage. I sell at 45 rupees, I sell at 47 rupees. So price selling formula, nobody asks for that. So what Joydeep said, the selling in auction will determine the price of the grower, is absolutely, that is one who does not know what is actually happening in the ground. Nobody asks. It is on the fine leaf percentage people sell tea.
Vidananda, just wait for a minute. Just see, can you butt in? Well, eventually we need a solution. There are more than the money, more than the cheese. 1,25,000 STs is multiplied by even minimum 10. That is about 12 to 14 lakhs of people. Life are involved in that.
Yeah, no. What Mr. Bokakuri is saying, I'm not saying that, like, you see, selling in the auction is going to determine or give a higher price. But what the tea board has, they must have consulted quite a lot. There was a meeting where the minister was there, all stakeholders were there. So they decided to try this 3 months period and with a minimum quantity to see how the price movement is there. And since teas were coming into the through the channel, so they thought that maybe why not go for compliance also, like random checking. In fact, one thing I would like to tell
checking can happen anytime. Anytime. It is not necessary that you have to send it through auction. Random checking can happen anytime. And see, for 100% option, as I said, some people marks can get very good price. Some marks can get very good price. So for them, it is a brilliant idea. For others, it is a stupid idea. So those who think it is a brilliant idea, they should not impose on others who think it is a stupid idea.
No, hang on, Mr. Borgakote and Mr. Fukan. See, both of you are technically very, very sound on this matter. Both, in fact, all three. We can go on arguing this whole thing about the notification need, perspective, all blah, blah, blah. But What is the solution? Today is Sunday. There is no plucking. What will happen tomorrow? What will happen day after? Chief Minister will be coming, taking intervention, maybe another 3-4 days. Is there some kind of hope for these 14 lakh people because their daily wages, production, everything is linked? All of us can wait for another 7-8 days to decide. Dipanjal, do you see kind of a solution by the end of the week? It is not something we can wait.
I know, but I do not know because right now, the strike has been limited to these two districts of Dibrugarh and Tinsukia. The rest of them, most of them are taking leaves. The T-board has set out a request to all the assemblies gardens to help and buy this thing. I know this is not going to be the solution of it. Maybe some sort of a little bit relief. And the maximum, the small growers and all are from these two districts of Dibrugarh and Tinsukia. So there, I do not know. I do not see any solution in this thing if the small growers the bucket are not buying it. And but the problem is the T-board. I do not think that even the T-board have got an option also. With this testing by the FSSI suddenly and done in such a way, I do not think that T-board have got an option also to keep it in hold. Because FSSI is going on, and that, like I told earlier, because of that scare now, even the buyers are testing it. So I don't think it is an option with the T-board also to hold on, unless and until FSSI could be put on hold, which I don't see it happening in the near future.
Johnny, I want a solution.
No, the solution is basically, since it's pesticide related, so our role comes in, for the DOCLA role comes in. First of all, so the thing is, what we have done is that, we are working on a war footing to get these two compounds approved, acetamiprid, imidacloprid. So then, at least I would say 70 to 80%, 70% of the 50 to 70% of the problem would be solved. There are other compounds also, but at least majority will be solved. Second thing is that we have tied up with a startup company called Arogyam Medisoft, which has brought out the instant rapid testing kit. It's like a mobile phone. In 10 minutes to 15 minutes, you can test all the 6 which are in the restricted list. I have seen for myself. Tomorrow we are again rechecking. We are doing parallel cross-checking with our labs. So which are established labs, which are FSSI approved, NABL approved labs.
I have seen the video which you had posted. What is the cost for every BLF if he wants to buy, and how long it has to wait to get it delivered?
Yeah, the cost for one test for that machine, one vial cost is 1.5 lakhs. For 6 vial, it is about 1.7 lakhs. And
what 6 vial means for the ordinary
basically. So basically, suppose if you have a it's a mobile phone. There's an attachment, a small. You can test one. There's a capsule kind of a thing. So where you wash the leaf and put the water in with the reagent, and only one test can be done at one time. The cost is 1.5 lakh rupees. I'm saying of the machine.
No, machine. No. What is my initial investment and my running expense? Just explain simply. So
initial investment would be around, say, we are trying to bring it down, but as of now it is 1.5 lakh for the equipment cost, and per test as of now it is coming to 130 rupees per test.
That's simple. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So this is
about Mr. Prakash, you're right. Yeah, sorry, finish it.
Yeah, I just this is the second thing which we are doing on the rapid testing. Third is basically we have shared our SOP for testing green leaf to Government of Assam. Dr. Ravi Kota sir has taken very prompt initiative, and he has been always in touch with us. And so what we are trying to do is that the Government of Assam has shortlisted 10 institutions like IIT Guwahati, NIST, then Assam Agriculture University, those who have got the machines, LCMS, MS and GCMS, MS machines. So we are going to train them from tomorrow, this week onwards, on testing the green leaf protocol for tea. So from one, you will have maybe another 10 more. So that will be 11 labs by the end of this week, which has given that they are going to test. So that is the third thing. fourth is basically the government of India has given us some funds to upgrade our Toklai lab. So we have got one set of machines now. We are going to put 2 to 3 sets more, because this is not going to end now. Actually, see, it's going to carry on for some years now. So they have given a sanction of about 10 crores for upgrading our labs at Toklai. So these are the 4-5 initiatives which have been taken.
Mr. Bokatoke, you are now going to from after this our conference, our this chat. We are going for a meeting and meeting the small tea growers directly. What is the solution and ray of hope you are going to give them, short term and long term? Quickly.
Yeah, because Minal, what JD has said is some long-term solutions which definitely we have to have it. But the short-term solution, as you said, so many tea factories are closed, small tea growers are not able to supply. So basically, it is closed in Dibrugarh and Tinsukia area. So we have to understand what they are really asking, what ABLTMA is really asking. ABLTMA is saying, please prepare a roadmap so that we achieve 100% compliance within the shortest period of time. Don't put the whole onus on the manufacturers. Manufacturers alone cannot do that because we do not have any device to check the green leaf. And the grower, like if it would have been like Kenya, then it would have been different because we know the grower. Because here now, grower is at liberty to sell to any factory. So we do not have much control on the grower. So we do not have any device. So what you do, because their growers are not getting penalized whether they have knowingly or unknowingly they have used those pesticides. Okay, so the factory is getting penalized. So factory is saying that give some time to the growers. Please prepare a roadmap so that within shortest possible time we achieve 100%. Because the factory, you have to understand, a bottling factory is not saving any money by making non-compliant tea. He's not saving any money. So why he will want to make a non-compliant tea? So till we get 100% compliantly, please ensure, like if Joydeep has said, when the device will come, okay, 1.5 lakh the factory will buy, no problem. And we'll check, and you need not check so many pesticides. You have to check just 5-6 pesticides. That's all. Finished. We are now testing only, can you believe, we are now only testing acetamiprid. That's all. We are very confident of race 212. In the list of FSI, there are 213 pesticides. We are now not concerned for 212. We are now only worried about one. Can you imagine?
But one thing we can end up, we can end this conversation.
So what ABLTM is saying, that till you have a roadmap and give us an SOP, and also we are telling government and Tea Board and FSSI, because acetamiprid and imidacloprid is already in the process. Those failures, please do not consider as failure, because it is in the pipeline. It is going to get approved soon. So now, if they do not consider it as failure, because what they did it for spices, you have to see. FSSI has they have made the MRL for which are not approved under CIBRC. They have made MRL as 0.1. Now, Mrinal, why our teacher in acetamiprid and imidacloprid, why it is getting failed? Because the default MRL of 0.01 is getting applied. If similar to spices, if it is made 0.1, it will not fail. And also we are saying that because it is in a pipeline, it is going to get level claim very soon. Don't consider for the time being. So these are the things which government has to make. A factory you will not be able to make, and we achieve it. I'm very optimistic that this is a critical issue, but it can be very easily solved.
Right. By talking to these three stalwarts of the industry, and what I have now come to an understanding that whatever happening, there will be some initial crisis, but as things are going for a better one, that other pesticides are being, that approval rates are being changed, the banned pesticides are out the market, government is going down heavily, but hopefully, Chief Minister, Commerce Ministry, all will talk about, and this process can be slowed down to a process so that the roadmap can be achieved. I really hope, optimistic that things are going to do something, and let this crisis over within that week or maybe a month, and hopefully, eventually, what the common goal to have a fantastic base cup of Assam tea, and that we are going to achieve. I'm extremely confident on that. Don't you?
Yes,
Yeah.
very much.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you very much for joining me and giving me this 40 minutes of time. And hopefully, I'll see you once again. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.